Positive things happening for Russia, for the United States.
Moscow and Washington seem to have their hands full and have stalled restoring bilateral ties. The Kremlin says Washington is not yet ready to remove barriers to the work of their respective embassies, and there's been no clarity on when the two will meet again to eliminate the so-called irritators in bilateral ties. Despite that, there was optimism on the sidelines of the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum held recently.
So I think there is a good dialogue, there is better understanding of the Russian position. It continues, and we are in discussion of several tracks. And of course, we hope also for good progress on political resolution in Ukraine.
Despite the lack of progress in some areas, some 70 American companies were present at the so-called Russian Davos this year.
They're here, they're a bit quiet because Biden administration took major effort to try to scare them away from Russia, but they're not scared. They believe that Russia will provide great returns, and the time of great returns in Russia for foreign investors is coming.
Business interests in Russia can be a precursor of changing relations, but for now the talk is more about a distant future.
The United States was not a big trade partner of Russia. There was no big trade. But the United States was a very big investor in the Russian economy. A lot of companies, American companies, heavily invested in the Russian economy because Russia is a big market. And in that sense, it will continue. The only thing is to change the political attitude, to start thinking about the future, to be pragmatical.
However, with no end to the conflict in Ukraine in sight, the US president often talks about new anti-Russian sanctions, which would complicate forward movement.
Moscow insists that it is becoming more resilient thanks to sanctions imposed on it, so much so that it feels confident to slow Washington from striking Iran. The question is whether slow progress on Ukraine and these divergent positions on multiple global challenges will prevent the two nuclear powers from mending fences. Dasha Chernyshova, CR2 World, Moscow.